Moving on, so another question we had from one of Anne-Marie's pupils was, can I fail my test for driving too slow? Simple answer here is yes, but it's a bit more complex than that. I think, again, my main comments on here would be take the word test out of the sentence and actually, should I drive at that speed normally? It should be the what you're aiming for. Your driving on a driving test should be how you normally drive the car. It shouldn't be any different. So everything you do in your driving lessons should be how you normally drive the car, and then you just carry that on into the driving test. Your driving test is a minimal percentage of the amount of driving that you're going to do in your whole life. So spend your driving lessons learning what you're going to do for your whole life, not what you're going to do for the driving test. So on that basis, if you're driving too slow for how you would normally drive, then you'll probably get faulted on the driving test. If you're driving too fast than how you would normally drive, you'll get faulted on a driving test. So it's not about trying to be too slow or too fast. It's kind of just be normal. Just go for a drive. The one I sort of kind of hear a lot of the time is stuff like where maybe someone's given you a bit of advice and sort of said, oh yeah, just go a few miles an hour below the speed limit on your test. Make sure you don't go over the speed limit, that sort of thing. And then what happens is instead of doing 30, you try and say do 27. But natural fluctuation happens when you're on that gas pedal. So instead of hovering between, trying to stay at 30 and maybe hovering between, say, 32 and 27, like that sort of little fluctuation you have, which is absolutely fine to fluctuate like that, as long as you adjust every time you sort of feel that fluctuation. But if you're trying to do 27, that fluctuation now goes from up to 30 and down to like 25, and in those moments you're doing 25 on certain roads, if you should be up at 30, that's quite slow, and you're starting to then hold up traffic. You might find people overtaking you and causing sort of danger, so that's where those faults are going to come in. I think another time a lot of these faults come in is maybe just people don't know the speed limit. There's a particular road in Newton Abbot, coming back from Traeger Mills, back towards Newton Abbot, where people sometimes don't see that it's national speed limit, and they're maybe a little bit slow along there. So yeah, that might be just a lack of knowing the speed limit, which is more about knowing your signpost and spotting your signpost than choosing a speed. But yeah, don't try and drive slow on your driving test. Try and drive at a speed that you would normally drive around, that feels safe. Slow down when you need to, speed up when you need to.